So we had some questions about the midpoint and the lower and upper class limits. So as you know, a frequency polygon, these midpoints here are indicated by dots. So you have a class that has the midpoint at 5, and that class had 40 million people that had that age of 5. Okay? Then there was a second class whose midpoint was 15 that had 43 million people that were in that class, etc. Okay? And as you know, you always have your polygons go to 0 on both the left and the right side. So over here, as you had answered correctly, the class width is 10 because the midpoints of each of the classes are going to be the same as the width for if you had the lower and the upper classes, so they're a distance of 10. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 classes that have the midpoints indicated as dots, so you are correct, that has the 10 classes. Then the midpoint, remember, the point on the polygon is actually at the midpoint. So if this is the first class, this is the second class, and the second class has a midpoint at 15. Okay, you answered to 10, but the answer is 15. Okay, the lower class is going to have it's going to be the numbers that are surrounding. So if the midpoint, if the class is 10 and the middle of that is going to be at 5, it's going to be like 5 below and 5 above to the next lower class. So here we have our lower class for our second class. It's going our lower limit of our second class is going to be at 10, and our lower class for our lower limit for our third class is going to be at 20. Okay, so that means that the lower limit is 10 because the midpoint of this class has to have a value at 15. So if my width is a 10, it has to have a distance of 5 on either side between the lower subsequent limits, and then the upper class, because the next lower limit is 20, this is going to be 19. Okay, the lower class to the midpoint for the next to last class. So here's the last class, the next to last class. Again, the points are at the midpoint. You answered it correctly, is at 85. And then the lower limit of the last class, of the next to last class, again, it's going to be 5 on either side because the width is 10. So it's going to be 80 for the lower limit. And then the next lower limit is going to be at 90. And so the upper limit of the second to last class is going to be at 89. And then it looks like you got the rest of the answers correct. So hope that works.